This is Electric Universe Eyes. This is an excerpt sent to me from Dirt Removes Blindness, from what a Bible scholar said about Genesis' account that there was a body of water above and below the firmament. I thought you might like it. What this scholar said: 1. The initial separation of water above and below the firmament, expanse, sky, atmosphere, may refer to the origin of a canopy, Genesis 1, 6, and 7. 2. Genesis 2, 5, and 6 hints that the early earth did not experience rain. A canopy would have greatly affected weather patterns, very likely limiting precipitation. 3. During the Great Flood, the windows or floodgates of heaven were open for 40 days and night. Genesis 7, 11, and 12. The present-day atmosphere could not hold enough moisture for such a lengthy deluge. Thus, the sky was likely different in the past in a way that could have included a vapor canopy. 4. Many ancient cultures have traditions telling of a canopy-type phenomenon above the earth. The Babylonian creation account, Enuma Elish, refers to Mummu, representing fog, clouds, or mist. Perhaps this was a canopy description. 5. There is abundant evidence of a warmer earth in the past. We have found fossils of palm trees in Alaska, crocodiles in New Jersey, and petrified wood in the desert. A canopy would have warmed the entire earth like a blanket. Seasonal cold and heat are first mentioned after the flood in Genesis 8:22. 6. A canopy would have increased atmospheric pressure, perhaps doubling its present value. This may explain the mystery of the flying reptiles, such as Pteranodon with its 70-foot wingspan. In today's world, it is doubtful that such creatures could fly. With higher air pressure in pre-flood time, however, they may have been buoyed up by the increased air pressure. These magnificent creatures were certainly created and designed to fly above the early Earth. 7. The canopy may hold the key to understanding the longevity in Old Testament chronologies, and also giantism of plants and animals in the fossil record. Increased air pressure can be very beneficial to health, as evidenced by experiments with hyperbaric or high-altitude pressure surgery. The healing process is sometimes found to accelerate when the patient is placed under higher than normal air pressure. The vapor canopy may also have increased the human lifespan by absorbing harmful radiation. The aging process is still not well understood today, so it is difficult to speculate on the beneficial effects of a pre-flood canopy. A biblical hint that a type of canopy may be restored during millennial times is in Psalm 148, 4 and 6, which describes waters that will be above the heavens forever and ever. Isaiah also mentions future weather protection above Mount Zion, Isaiah 4, 5 and 6. References from Donald B. DeYoung, Weather and the Bible, Grand Rapids, Baker Book House, 1992, pages 110 through 112. Thanks for that, Dirt Removes Blindness. I think this canopy was also explained by plasma physicist Dr. Anthony Pratt, who created a bunch of plasma experiments in the laboratory, and thus, following that, all of a sudden petroglyphs around the world were being matched to these plasma instabilities, called Pratt instabilities, relating to a plasmoid focus and the unstable movement of Birkeland currents, or plasma discharges around planetary beings or planetary bodies. The canopy, I agree, would have been water, I would say, while we were under Saturn. The original canopy being the plasma sheath that surrounded Saturn and the other planets that were in a polar alignment. As the ancients always said, the original sun was stationary at our celestial North Pole, and that it turned, the cosmic wheel turned but it never moved its position. It was unmovable. But all the cataclysms described were from when the planets actually got moved. It's a long, detailed, and somewhat confusing story. However, if you take all of the cultural stories and religions and whatnot and look at the characters that are at play, you can look and see an archetype, something that is representing the same situation that happened and how these deities were described. If this is the first time you've ever heard of Saturn being our original sun, or our solar system not being what you think it is today and what you were taught in school, then I would implore you to bust out whatever scripture you're using and go back to the beginning and read it again. But don't read it with the eyes of seeing these characters as human beings. See this with what was seen in the sky and planets and the heavenly battles. Everything deals with the heavens and the cosmos and space and stars and light and pillars of fire and lots of death and destruction and world cataclysms.